All right, so what we have today is actually a box that is way too big to open on this table. I'll have to show some B-roll of it right now. It literally will not fit under this overhead rig. It's so big. It is the Myethos Floating Life in Tibet version. This figure comes in one gigantic box, but it is technically two figures. And let's go ahead and get into the individual packages of each figure. So this big box, as you can tell how close my fingers are to the camera, how big this box is. It is gigantic. It barely fits in frame. I think I have like maybe half an inch or two between that and the actual mount that the camera's on. So since this is the deluxe version of this figure, it does come with an acrylic to celebrate both of them together. So I did buy this figure used, but honestly, it doesn't look like this has ever really been opened. So everything's pretty much still sealed. Let's go ahead and do that. You can see what we're looking like. So they just pop out of their blister with little keeper pegs like that. I'm gonna go ahead and assemble this and I'll be right back. All right, and this is the acrylic stand you get. Sorry for the glare up there, but yeah, super good quality. Represents the figure itself of what you get. Looks pretty good and a really good size too. So first up, I believe you pronounce his name Zhang.
Zhang. Zhang.
This is his figure in his blister pack right now, and you can see the reflection of the camera. It's a very shiny plastic blister. I'll go ahead and undo all this, and then we'll go ahead and bring the figure itself out. So here we have the blister pack itself. I don't see any tape on this one, so I'm going to go ahead and try and pop it. I have to move it over here to get it underneath the camera, but oh, he's heavy. Okay. So he is well packaged. His base is, let me move him over. His base is right here as well. It is a very thick base. I'm gonna go ahead and pull this base out. I can't. So he has this little plastic piece right here that's kind of locking the base in. So we're gonna pull him out, and then his base comes out. It is gigantic. I did not expect it to be this big. So you can see there's tons of good decals. There's just overall good weathering. The snow looks good. The dry brushing on the concrete or the stone looks really good. Overall, this feels super nice. You can see where he keys in at the bottom. And now we'll pull Zhang out real quick and we'll see his head sculpt, which looks fantastic. Myethos, in my opinion, is always one of the nicest figures. They just look so clean. His actual paint job and shading looks really good. His sword scabbard looks super, super clean. I love the detail in it. I love the weathering that they used. I love all of the little charms at his waist. They look super, super good. All the metallics look really good. The fabric looks good. The shading on the pants and the knees look fantastic. The boot shading looks great. The sword looks super nice. It looks like a sword. It's not warped in any way. The fur on his coat is nicely shaded. The decals on the shirt that he's wearing is super, super nice. I like how the outer coat feels like leather and it looks like leather with that kind of stippling. Looks fantastic. So we're gonna go ahead and key him into the base. Now his key pegs do match up and they have to be spread for me a little bit. After a little bit of force, he went down. And now he is securely within his base. And he looks fantastic. Now let's go ahead and bring the other figure out. And here we have Wu, our protagonist for this series. And he looks fantastic in his gigantic plastic box. Let's go ahead and get him open. And the same thing here, I do not see any overall tape keeping this blister together. So let's go ahead and pop this off. Now we can take a look at the figure itself. So we have the base, which looks like it comes out first because we opened this thing backwards. Then we take off the back shell. And Wu will be right here. Pulling Wu out first, taking a look at that head sculpt. Myethos nails this one as well. They look perfect. The hair shading, I'm trying not to hit the camera rig I have, but yeah, they look fantastic. Absolute stellar job. And again, this outer coat also looks just like leather with that speckling of different tones. The dark splotches and the light splotches really feels like some kind of animal leather or hide. Then the fur is fantastically shaded on this one as well. Same with the decals on the inner outfit. His book even has the correct decals on it, looking fantastic with the little notes he has. His sleeves are even ornate in their decals. He has the nice ornate dagger at his hip. Fantastic little tassels there as well. He has a normal hand, nice shading around the fingers. And as per usual, fantastic shading around the pants and the boots. Moving on to the base, it is just as good as the last one. It is very tall. It has really nice decals on these banners that are flying down. The snow looks super nice. It also is enclosed on the bottom. Nice hefty weight to it. I like the wooden posts that are tying this from the ground to the top of the rock. It just overall looks fantastic. Good weathering as well. You can see the foot pegs where his feet go in. They are keyed only to go in one way, and the weathering and dry brushing on the rocks also looks great. And he is simply going to key in like that. You may have to spread his feet around. Once you align the pegs, just go ahead and firmly push down for him to be seated in place. And once he is seated in place, you will see this nice crevice line right here. These bases are meant to key together, like so, and make one complete gigantic figure. Now I'll put some B-roll of this figure on the screen right now. Man, I couldn't even start to just explain how good this figure is. I got this figure used, even though it looks absolutely brand new. I got it used for like $120 with free shipping. Absolutely insane deal for a figure of this size, this scale, and this quality. I also have another figure coming sometime this weekend for the Grave Robber Chronicles series. It is another Wu of him on the chair from Myethos as well. Now, Zhang is a little bit harder to find. His is way out of print from what I can tell. I'm still going to try and hunt it down. I really don't know if I can for a decent price, but I definitely already have Wu shipping. It is going to get here sometime this weekend, like I said earlier, and there will be a review of him on the channel and seeing how he pairs not only with this big piece, but also just in general with the Myethos line. So I'm very satisfied with this. I can't wait to collect more of this series. These figures look absolutely phenomenal. I love them so much. You can find this figure for pretty cheap considering its scale and price. But man, if you haven't read this series or watched any of the dramas, I highly recommend it. It is a fantastic read, and these figures are phenomenal as well. But until next time, see you guys.